Hi and hello everybody, it's Fern. Welcome back to another Planty video. Thank you so much for joining me. So, I'm sure that it will come as a shock to nobody, but I have been struggling a little bit lately. Everything's fine. I've just been navigating some mental health things, not even necessarily bad things, just draining things. Potential new diagnosis is being explored, potential medication change upcoming, just things that have been weighing on me mentally a lot. So yeah, I've just been struggling to keep up with a lot of things, including my plants. What I wanted to film today was a big reset video because things are just messy and chaotic, and I feel like my plant collection and plant shelves and planty areas and everything kind of go through this cycle of like looking really good and being well kept and everything's great, and then there's kind of a downward trajectory where things are looking a little rough. I need to be spending a little bit more time getting things under control and cleaning things up, and then I will do that eventually, and then it'll start to look good again. And it's just kind of this cycle, and right now we're kind of at a low point. So yeah, I was like, I'm gonna do a big reset, bring y'all with me, and we're gonna clean everything up, get everything looking good again. So that's what needs to be done. But the sound of that was just so overwhelming and daunting. I was like, I can't do it. I want to film something else today. So here we are. I was trying to think like what is going to be uplifting, on theme, like what can I film right now? And then I was like, wait, this is the perfect video idea. So I'm going to be showing you plants that were struggling and now they're doing a lot better, which is the same trajectory that I'm hoping for myself. So yeah, I just thought that that was going to be just like a fun video. One of my favorite things is just showing plants to y'all, talking about them and admiring them with you. So I hope that that sounds good. And long videos will be back soon. They are my one true love as both a creator and a viewer. I love a good like hour and a half video, and yeah, those will be back soon, hopefully. Before we see these planty glow ups, I want to say a huge thank you to the sponsor of today's video, Ritual. This is perfect to be talking about in today's video because I've been struggling so much with overwhelm and keeping up with things, but Ritual really takes the mental gymnastics out of supporting my gut health, and I really appreciate them for that. Symbiotic Plus is a 3-in-1 prebiotic, probiotic, and postbiotic. Yes, you get all three of those in one capsule, and they work together to support a balanced gut microbiome and support healthy digestion. What I noticed when taking this consistently is a big difference in regularity, if you know what I mean. And I also notice a bit less bloating, which is really nice. Gut health is something that I want to focus on this year because now we know what an integral part the gut plays in things like mental health, immunity, and just our general well-being. What I love about Ritual as a brand is their focus on providing science-backed products and also traceable ingredients. Symbiotic Plus contains 2 of the world's most clinically studied probiotic strains, and it features a delayed release capsule to help the probiotics get to your colon where they can grow and thrive, rather than just dying in your stomach. I'm the self-proclaimed queen of falling off of routines, but this is one that even I can stick with. Just 1 mint essence capsule daily. It doesn't matter if you take it with or without food, and it doesn't even have to be refrigerated. Also, Ritual is subscription-based, which is a lifesaver. Take something off of the to-do list and you know that you're always going to be stocked up. If you would like to try out Ritual for yourself, you can get up to 25% off with the QR code that I'm going to pop up here. You can scan that, or you can go to ritual.com/wildfern25. Thank you so much for Ritual for sponsoring this portion of the video. Okay, my throat is dry because I've actually filmed this video already, and then I decided that I wanted to add extra lighting, so we're filming it again. At least I have motivation to still provide some semblance of quality here on the channel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 7 plants to share with you today. There are more, like the verrucosum is one that is doing really well lately, but we need to save something for the monthly walkthrough, so I'm gonna be talking about the 7 that I have here right now. Okay, so the first one is, oh my gosh. The first one is my inner variegated Hoya polyneura. Now, if you're a regular viewer, then you would have witnessed some of the journeys that these plants have been on. And this was one that was struggling with aphids, which is truly one of the most annoying pests known to man, because they come out of the woodwork. You will have no sign of aphids in your collection, and then all of a sudden you'll come across a plant and it will have like hundreds of aphids on it, and it's just like, what the heck is going on? The way that they will destroy a leaf literally overnight is insane. and aphids love new Hoya leaves. That is always where I find them, and it's very annoying. So this plant, as well as my outer variegated polyneura, which is doing better as well, but I still am just like not loving the way that that plant is looking, so I wanted to feature this one instead. So both of these variegated polyneura were just under siege by aphids, and now they're both doing a lot better, but this is the one that I'm just obsessed with. I really do think that I prefer the inner variegation when it comes to the polyneura. It's just so beautiful, and this is one that I'm really excited to see how much it's going to grow out for me this year, because we all know that I'm such a big fan of polyneura in general. This is one of the only Hoya that I have, or it is the only Hoya that I have 4 different varieties of, which is crazy. So I'm a big fan. But yeah, this one I really could see it becoming like a top favorite for me as it grows out, because the variegation is just top tier. Like, it's just so like creamy and crispy, and it just looks amazing. And I love these baby leaves that are like still soft, and oh, it's just stunning. My outer variegated one does occasionally put out full white leaves, so I'll be curious. Wait, does this have one? No, it doesn't. I'll be curious to see if this does anything like that as well. But it's just so nice to see these healthy leaves. Like, it looks fake. They're just so pretty. I highly recommend getting your hands on the inner variegated if you are a polyneura person, because it's just gorgeous. Like, trust me, it's just gorgeous. And mine has barely even done anything yet. Like, it's just getting started, and it's just recovering from like a rough bout of pests. So she really has so much potential that can still be reached, and I just cannot wait to watch her grow even more. Okay, so next we have an Anthurium, and when I tell you the amount of times that I considered getting rid of this Anthurium, so many times, because I had this for quite a while. Like, let me think of when I got this. I've had this for I think around a year, and it has never looked good until this leaf. Like, look at the leaves I was getting before. So this was living on the, I guess I should say like why these are doing better now. Obviously this one is doing better because I treated the aphids and they're gone. Lives on the Vitsto shelf. This also lived on the Vitsto shelf in just regular room humidity, and the leaves would come out looking horrible. And this was also under attack by the aphids. They would just go for the new leaves and then they would look like this. That's from aphids. It's crazy damage. And yeah, I just could not get a nice leaf on this. Even when the aphids weren't really a thing, like the leaves just weren't looking good. So I was like, okay, I'm either gonna get rid of this plant or I'm gonna have to take action and try to get it to grow nicely. So I moved it into the cabinet. Did I even say what this is? This is an Anthurium Dark Phoenix and Pappy hybrid, which I don't really know what that means. I still don't know anything about Anthurium names, but I mean, she's looking cute so far. So I was like, okay, I need to get this thing under control to find out if I actually like it. Do I want to keep this in my collection? So I moved it into the Millsbo wide cabinet, where humidity is 75 to 80% on a good day. It's usually like mid 70s, which is, you know, 20% higher than room humidity. And it turns out that that was exactly the boost that it needed to get going and give me a nice, beautiful leaf, because look at that. I was shocked. The way that this leaf kept expanding, I was honestly shocked, you guys. I was just not expecting something of this size. And I could see, like, this one made me hopeful, because even though it got damaged by aphids, I was like, I see the vision. You know what I mean? I could see that it was a little bit elongated, and it just looked like something that could be up my alley. So I was like, okay, let's keep going. And now this is what I have, and I'm so glad that I kept this. Like, the texture I was not expecting, that is just so beautiful. I love how it's like slender and long. It's just stunning. And I'm so excited to grow this out more, because I feel like this could become a favorite. Like, how big is it gonna get? I have so many questions. And this is kind of the exciting thing once Anthuriums get to this size and you can really see some of their traits come out. It's just such an enjoyable process. So yeah, I'm excited. I grew this out from just like a tiny little seedling. I actually got it as just a bonus plant when I placed an order from Plant Happens last year, or I don't know, maybe a little bit longer. No, I think it was last year. I think it was a Patreon unboxing. But anyways, it's looking stunning, and yeah, I'm excited. Really, really excited to watch it continue to grow. Roots look good. Like, it's just doing great in the cabinet. So it's gonna be staying in there for now. I don't want to move it back out until, well, I don't know if I'll ever move it back out. It might just be one that stays in the cabinet for as long as it can, because it's just looking gorgeous growing in there. So yeah, that is a really exciting update on this one. Okay, next, this one is really exciting, and you may have seen this plant starting to do a lot better in some of my updates recently, but this is my Begonia lubersii. Now, I chopped this completely back. I took some propagations with plans to root those propagations up and then start a new plant from the propagations, but I decided to keep the base of the plant that was just like sticks coming out of it, because begonias are so fantastic at growing back. Even if you cut them down to nothing, there is a good chance that they will reemerge, and that's exactly what happened, and it has come in so full and bushy. It's absolutely gorgeous. Like, look at how cute this is. It's like a little compact shrub. So yeah, I was not expecting it to come back in just so nice. And honestly, this one seems, I mean, it's the same plant, but this like 2.0 version of it seems so resilient, because this used to wilt and drop leaves like as soon as it was underwatered. I really try to stay on top of the watering for this one, but this like 2.0 version hasn't even really been doing that. So I don't know if it really did come in like hardier or something, but I'm just loving it lately, and I do still have the propagations. I probably will pot those into semi-hydro because I just think that that works better for my begonias in terms of them being so thirsty. But doesn't this just look amazing? It's so gorgeous. And what's cool about this begonia, oh, I just realized I actually got these from the same shop last year. But what's cool about this begonia is that it has these beautiful silver markings when it is juvenile like this, and as it matures, it loses the silver and it turns into just like a dark velvety leaf, which is really cool. And I'm really hoping to just grow a more impressive version of this year. I don't know what I'm gonna do when I have two of them, if I will end up keeping this one or rehome it or what, but for now I've just really been appreciating watching it grow in, and it does have just like such a beautiful sheen to it. Like, I'm just a sucker for begonias that are shiny and velvety, just so gorgeous, and I really don't see this one around a lot. So it's a really unique one, and it's just been growing back in so beautifully. So that is definitely like a major comeback for this one. This lives in the Millsbow tall cabinet. It is one that I've not experimented with growing outside of cabinet conditions. I think it does prefer the higher humidity and also a lot of water. Okay, let's do a bigger one. My alocasias have just been on some type of journey lately, especially some of these like taller, larger ones. Oh my gosh, look at him. Are you joking me? This is so gorgeous. Do you see how shiny that is? Oh my gosh. And this leaf, it's like hardened off and it's been emerged for a while, but it still just has such like a slick look about it. So this is my Alocasia longoloba silver, and again, you may have seen this on Instagram or in other updates, like recent updates, but this one, as well as my pink dragon scale, which I also have here, but y'all have seen that recently, so it's not really that crazy of an update. I don't even know why I included it. Maybe just because I was talking about this one. Both of those alocasia were infested with spider mites in September, and I chopped them completely back, I think in October. So they were just down to stumps, and I popped them in the cabinet to, you know, encourage them to eventually pop out a new leaf for me, and they did. The Alocasia Pink Dragon, I'll show you her in a second, that one came first, and this one was a little bit, this one was still only a stump actually when the Alocasia Pink Dragon spit out. Like, that one came back pretty quickly. This one took a little bit more time, but eventually it did put out a leaf, and I'm just so shocked. Like, I can't get over the size of the leaves that I've been getting from just a stump. This one is in Leca too, which is really nice and really low maintenance. But yeah, this is massive, so massive. Like, this is the size of my hand next to it. It's such a long, slender leaf, and it's just so gorgeous with his horns up here. Like, this is just such a cool alocasia. It is one of the like tall varieties. This reminds me a little bit of, what's it called? What's that one called that has like the cool pattern on it? Zebrina, Alocasia zebrina. That's kind of what it reminds me of. Cool pattern on the stem and just such a stunning long leaf. So yeah, this one I literally did nothing. I just kept, you know, topping up the water in the pot and eventually just spit this out, which is so exciting. So that has been a major win lately. And then I will show you the Alocasia pink dragon. Even though it's like literally the same story, I will just take any opportunity to talk about pink dragon because I feel like this is an Alocasia that is often overlooked. Oh my gosh, this isn't even the best lighting to show her off in. Let's see if I can sort her out a little bit here. No, you can't really see. This is actually Hoya variegated too, but I just think that her leaf, wait, maybe that's better. Her leaf is so gorgeous, but the pink stems, like you're joking. I love, it's like the sweetest baby pink color. It makes me so happy. It really stands out in my collection. Like it's just such a gorgeous Alocasia. And yeah, I was really on the hunt for a pink dragon for a while. I don't know why these were hard to find where I am, but they were, and I couldn't find them online anywhere either. So I ended up asking We Pot Plants if she had any pink dragon, and she had this Hoya one. So I was like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. So that's how I ended up with an Hoya one. But I do think just like the regular non-variegated ones are absolutely gorgeous as well, with the deep green leaf and the pink petioles, just so stunning. So both of these big Alocasia are living outside of the cabinet now. They're obviously too tall to be in the cabinet. The Longaloba just transitioned out of the cabinet like 2 days ago, so we'll see how that one does. But the pink dragon's been doing well. I don't know when I'm gonna get, oh, it does actually have a little growth point right here, so maybe I will be getting a new leaf. That would be so nice. Can you see that right there? So cool. Yeah, I'll keep you all posted on these, but I've just really been loving these like tall Alocasia lately. I've been on a bit of an Alocasia kick lately, just loving my Alocasia so much. Even if I only have one leaf on them at a time, which tends to be kind of the direction that things go in, but that's okay. Okay, so next, and this might not look like much, this is my Hoya clemensiorum. We actually repotted this together in one of my Q&A videos. I was unhappy with the pot that this was in before. I felt like it just wasn't, I just watered this, so don't mind that. I felt like it wasn't getting enough airflow because the pot only had like 2 tiny holes on the bottom. So I popped it into here. This is like all aerated on the bottom, and put like a nice chunky mix. This is the Molly's Aeroid mix. I'm just trying to see if there's any roots growing on the side yet. Not really. I mean, it's a little too soon to see much. I'm just gonna dump this water out into one of these Alocasia. So I felt like it wasn't really doing well in that setup. I wanted to switch it over to some new substrate and a new pot in hopes that it would promote some growth, because this clemensiorum just really hasn't done much for me. I know it's a slow growing Hoya, but I've just been hoping for some new leaves to come in. So we repotted this a few weeks ago, and look at this, y'all. We have a new baby leaf coming, which is so exciting. I hope that that's focusing. It's so cute. Is it focusing? Come on, please. There we go. Can you see that? Oh my gosh, cutest baby leaf coming in. That is very hopeful to see. I'm really just crossing my fingers that things are going to be turning around for this plant. I really want to get some just like big, chunky clemensiorum leaves. Maybe I should be putting this in a cabinet. Let me know what you think if you also grow this Hoya, because I don't know, some Hoyas I can just tell that they kind of want cabinet conditions, and for some reason I like to resist that. I think because I'm prioritizing light for this one, like it's in the south window, but maybe I should be prioritizing humidity more. I don't know. Let me know what you think about that, because I could potentially find space for this in a cabinet. It just might not be getting as much light as the south window provides for my Hoya, so I don't know. I've also, this is kind of a random side note, but I've also been contemplating lately if I should buy new LED panels for my plant spectrum lights that are in both of my cabinets, because I didn't know this, but LEDs actually decrease, like their efficacy or their brightness decreases over time. So even if the light hasn't completely died, it might not be outputting like the same strength of light. I don't really know like the technicalness of it, but I found that out recently and I was like, oh, I did not know that. And I've had these lights for several years now. I feel like the Millsbow wide especially could use maybe a new LED panel, so I might be ordering a new LED panel. I've talked about toying with the idea of even installing a second light in that cabinet because I just feel like it's not bright enough, so I could potentially do that as well. But yeah, I just have a feeling that I should be maybe changing out the LED panel soon. Okay, next we have Begonia melanobullata here. Now this one again was chopped completely back because this begonia was doing so horrible. I took a cutting, tried potting that cutting up, and it did not take. It like completely died, and the mother plant really suffered a lot of underwatering in the fall, so I chopped it completely back. I think in one of my like clean with me videos, I was kind of doing some plant care and also cleaning up my plant shelves. This is so satisfying to touch. Trying times over here. I finished filming this video and then I went to stop on my camera and it gave me this weird error message and I was like, what's going on? Plug my SD card into my computer, entire last clip gone. So I think the last clip we left off on was me talking about how I took a cutting from this one. The cutting didn't take. I tried to put it in leca, it died. But thankfully I kept the base, kept the mother, and now she is growing back, giving us the cutest little leaves. They're still juvenile compared to what this plant ends up looking like. Like the more mature leaves look a lot spikier, but these are still just like so cute. And I'm really looking forward to what this plant is going to end up looking like once it gets nice and full again. Watering is a huge issue for this one. I don't know if rhizomatous begonia do well in semi-hydro, so if you have any insight on that, let me know. If I can get this into semi-hydro, that would be really helpful because it is the watering that is the issue for this one. It is so thirsty, it's difficult to keep up with. But yeah, I have a bit of a, I don't know, my rhizomatous begonia either get out of control or they get thirsty. That seems to be the two major issues. This one, the melanobullata, you actually can propagate from stem or from leaf, which is really nice. My Begonia polensis, that one is a lot trickier because I think that it really only propagates from rhizome. But anywho, we're growing this one back out. I will probably try taking cuttings maybe later this spring and then see if I could get those going in semi-hydro. I still want to try for that because it's going to solve a lot of problems for me. And I could just see this plant being a lot healthier once I get it in the correct setup. It's fine for now because I'm just, you know, dumping some water in here whenever I think of it to kind of keep it topped up at all time. But I would say that this one likes for its soil to be moist like all the time. It doesn't really like to dry out to any degree. So that's why it lives in the cabinet. But yeah, this one's growing back, doing well, and I'm so thankful for that because this is one that I would truly be devastated if I didn't have it in my collection because it's just so unique and kind of spooky and weird. It's just really up my alley. And then lastly, we have my Anthurium Goliath forgetii. This is a hybrid that I got from Cartel Down like a few years ago now. Originally, I put this directly in my cabinet, grew it out in there, looked amazing. This became one of my top Anthurium, if not like my top favorite. It was just so gorgeous, really flawless looking, dark velvety leaves, a little forgetii shape, which is so cute. Yeah, I was obsessed with this Anthurium, and then I decided to take it out of the cabinet and it struggled in room humidity for probably around a year, maybe a little bit longer. I kept just thinking like, okay, the next leaf, it will have adapted and it will look better. But then it just kept spitting out like damaged leaf after damaged leaf. And eventually I just decided like, okay, I don't think this is gonna work. I think this is an Anthurium that is just gonna have to stay in the cabinet. So I've kind of come to terms with that. It's fine. Even if it starts to like outgrow the cabinet, I think I'll just have to chop it back or restart it or whatever. But I have kind of just accepted that this is going to be a cabinet Anthurium. which is fine. Like, it grows beautifully in there. It looks great in the cabinet. So it just is what it is. But since this has been in the cabinet, it right away gave me this beautiful leaf, which isn't perfect, but it is like 90% better than what I was getting. So even with the minor imperfections, it's still just stunning. And it also gave me this small one, which same, it's not perfect, but it's a lot better. And now we have another little leaf coming in right here. And I just love the coloring of the baby leaves as well. Like, it's just so stunning. Look at that. It is so deep and velvety and just a dream, really. Like, ugh, I love the forgetty eye closed sinus. It's just such a stunning Anthurium, so I'm so happy that it is growing well for me again. I will not take it out of the cabinet again. Looking forward to just, you know, having it as kind of like a showpiece in the cabinet, because it really is eye-catching when it's healthy and thriving. I don't know why the leaves are like tilted this way, both of these, like what the heck? Must be something to do with the way that they're getting light in there, but yeah, that's kind of funny. Anyways, this one is doing so much better, which I'm grateful for. I wouldn't say I regret taking it out of the cabinet for that year, because sometimes you just have to experiment and try things out. I tried, it didn't work, and now it is back in the cabinet to recuperate. Oh my gosh, I saw this on the table and I was like, what is that? But it's a leaf from the Begonia melanobullata. These weird, creepy leaves. I always am telling you guys how plants have such a cyclic nature, especially growing them inside our homes. Like, sometimes they're doing well, sometimes they're not. And then when you throw in other layers of things, like just like keeping up with life, or if you struggle with mental health in any type of way, physical health, there's just so many things that life throws at us that make this hobby challenging to keep up with sometimes. And yes, growing plants is such a rewarding hobby, but it does have this demanding nature to it where you are constantly having to keep up with things. You can't really take a step back without seeing things decline, which is why I think that houseplants have such a high burnout rate in comparison to other hobbies, because other hobbies you can take a break from and nothing is gonna die, nothing is gonna, you know, need you to spend hours to recuperate it. That's why I always like to share, you know, the realities of plants. And I know some people might be looking for a plant channel where everything is like perfectly upkept and they're like super consistent with everything, and like, as much as I wish that was me and my collection, it's just not. And I know that there's a lot of you out there who are the same as me. So yeah, I will always, you know, keep it real. I'll show you the highlights, but I will also show you and tell you about when things aren't great. Even outdoor gardening, like outdoor plants, I feel like there is at least an off season in that where it's less demanding and people can kind of take a break and then be re-inspired once the spring comes. Houseplants aren't really like that. Like, they're asking for something from us all the time, like every week. So it really is a hobby that takes a lot from us, and I think that we should be gentle with ourselves and, you know, proud of the plants that we are able to grow, whether they're perfect or not, because it really is just such a unique hobby in, I think, the amount of time and energy that it takes to upkeep and to take part in. Anyways, I'm not gonna ramble anymore. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for your support as usual, and a huge thank you to Ritual for sponsoring this video. If you want to check them out, you can get 25% off. I will have them linked down below in the description box. I hope that y'all are keeping well, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye.